to Totalis Rankium. This week, Series 2 Final.
Hello, and welcome to Roman Emperors Totalis Rankium. I am Jamie.
And I am Rob. I was Rob. This is the end, Jamie.
This is the end, my
It's
friend.
the end.
The end.
We're here. It seems very surreal.
Yeah.
The last planned episode. There's a couple of bonus things we're going to do at the end, but they don't count. This is it. This is the end.
Yeah.
Of 7 years. 2016 we started this, Jamie.
Was it March or May?
2016. Oh, I don't know. It was something like that. It was too long ago. No one can remember.
That's true. It's pre-Brexit, pre-COVID, pre-Trump.
Pre the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's so long ago. It's crazy that we've done it. It's amazing. I'm going to start this episode, Jamie, with thanking all our listeners.
All three of you, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you've listened to all of our episodes, just wow. And some people, because the Spotify thing's just been released, some people have listened to everything this year alone, which is insane.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, right, anyway, yeah, I suppose we should start. It's really weird because I don't have, loads of notes set up because it's a fairly simple episode, Jamie. Nice and straightforward. We are, just like at the end of Season 1,
Yeah.
we are going to start off with just a couple of Historiae Ridiculi questions just to get us warmed up. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You need a bit of a warm-up.
Get the old cockles warmed.
Exactly. No one can debate Roman emperors with cold cockles.
No.
Well-known fact. And then our round that we have only ever done once before in the final of Season 1. Jamie, what is it called?
Voxius Poppianus.
Yes.
Voice of the people.
Voice of the people. Latin is fantastic. So we'll just hear some of your views. And then we debate. We debate.
Yes.
We just, and then we got to decide.
Yeah.
Who Totalis Rankiums. Is that something we said last time? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. Not gonna.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
I quite like it though. So let's say we're going to find out who Totalis Rankiums.
Nice.
Rankiums Totalis.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So first round. Let's go.
Historious Ridiculi.
Okay. Historious Ridiculi. And who is up? It's our three finalists. Who have we got, Jamie?
Well, we've got number 1, Justinian II.
Justinian II, no-nose himself.
No-nosed himself, or slit-nosed, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
And number 2 is Andronikos,
Yeah.
the hilarious prison escapee guy. And last but not least, Heraclius,
Heraclius.
the guy that
What a
conquered
guy.
the universe.
He did conquer the universe, or at least part of it. Right, we need a Historicus Ridiculi question. Okay, let's start off with Aiden's question. Which emperor would host the best tea party out of these three emperors?
Oh, I mean, it depends on style. Do you want classy, or do you want just a bit of a fun time? Fun time, Andronikos. Classy,
Yeah.
probably Heraclius.
Okay, I mean, you've just jumped in there straight away.
Sorry,
You seem very determined about that.
Well, it just seems like an obvious answer. It's like, I mean, Andronikos would be a great party.
He does seem like a guy who knows how to throw a good party.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Okay, Heraclius seems organised, so it'd be a classy affair.
And
Not Justinian?
No, he's quite aggressive and a bit like if you put your cup down without a placemat or something.
He'd murder you.
Yeah, you're on the list.
You'd be on the list. And also he'd be bleeding from the nose, and that puts everyone off. Yeah. Okay, I mean, it was a quick and easy one, but yeah, I totally agree with you. There was nothing else to say, really.
No.
So there you go. Thank you, Aidan. And that's the question. And, no, but it's who would be the best. So now you need to decide which tea party you need to go to.
I would definitely go to Andronikos' tea party.
Yeah, I'd go to Andronikos' tea party. It sounds like it'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there we go then. Okay, let's go for the next one. Okay, Niblik, the third, has asked if the emperors were playing Monopoly, who would be the first to flip the table?
Again, what do you think? I kind of shot him with the last one. I think I know, but what do you think?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling between Justinian or Andronikos. I think both of them would flip the table.
I think Andronikos would flip the table to get quicker access to your wife. I think that's why he would do it.
It's bolted in the damn way.
Yes.
Yeah. No, Justinian's the one who's going to get angry and annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Heraclius, I just don't think he would. He'd just be happily winning Scrabble, wouldn't he?
Oh, could we put a twist on that question? Who'd be best at Risk?
Oh, who'd be best at Risk? Heraclius.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. it's fairly simple.
Glad we solved that one. But could he take Russia? That's the question.
No one could take Russia. Okay, well let's do one more. Givita has asked. I won't say the first word because it's self-censored and it's been crossed out, and it's been changed to get to know, marry, kill.
I don't think you'd have a choice with Andronikos. He would get to know you.
I mean, Andronikos has to be the get to know, surely.
Yeah. Just to see what the big fuss is about.
He clearly knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't want to stick around.
No. I'd feel loved, though, for that short time.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
Well, it's nice. Until he goes on to the next city. I'm getting to know Andronikos. In which case, I suppose the only logical one is to marry Heraclius because he was a stable human being and get rid of Justinian before he kills you.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, that was a fairly straightforward historicus ridiculi round there. But there you go. It's got us thinking about it. It's warmed us up a little bit.
Cockles are warm.
Good. Yeah, no, I've just checked my cockles. They are a bit warmer than tepid.
That's good. That's the perfect amount, and they'll heat up as you exert yourself more.
This is it. I think we need to go on a little bit more, just to get a little bit warmer.
Ooh.
So let's warm those cockles up a little bit more with our next round. Okay, this round is all about what you, the listener, thinks.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I threw this question out to our Discord listeners, our Senate members. Thank you very much to all our Senate members who make this podcast possible. And I just said, who should win? And why? It was a simple question.
That's pretty simple.
All it needs is a simple answer. We got quite a few answers. Obviously, do not have time to go through all of them, but here's a few.
Well, really, there are only three possible answers. I mean,
there were only three possible answers, but the why part.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The why part was wider. Let's do a good sample where we get at least one person backing each emperor, shall we?
Yeah,
that shouldn't be hard to find. So let's start with Umberto. Umberto, of course, from Ranking Persia.
Yeah.
Check out Ranking Persia if you've not listened. Okay, Umberto says Andronikos. That's who he wants to win. Andronikos, because he has the most unhinged story. He goes from Lord Flashheart sleeping around and escaping jail until he became a horrible tyrant. Sure, Heraclius saves the empire and Justinian II is also evil, but Andronikos just wins from the sheer amount of great stories that you can tell.
That's hard to argue with.
It is hard to argue with. It is a great story. It is very Lord Flashhearty, but then you've got all the crazy tyrant stuff, which I do like. Re-listening to these episodes, prepping for this final, we did refer to him as, well, I say we, you'd refer to him as Lord Flashheart in the episode. I was wondering if we made that connection at the time, and we certainly did. So there you go. Andronikos. It's a good opinion. It is a good opinion.
And it's true. I mean, yeah, he's got that almost like Byron-esque mad, bad and dangerous to know kind of element to him, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let's try someone else, someone who's backing Justinian this time, shall we? Hands down, Justinian II. This is a comment by Lesia. It's not who is the best, but who has the best story.
Yes.
And for the last 5 years, he is the emperor from both seasons 1 and 2 that I tell people about when trying to get them to expand beyond the standard Caesar, Augustus, Trajan stuff. Sure, Andronikos is interesting, but his story is character-driven. Justinian II is both character and plot. Now, that's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Is a good point, because the escape and the coming back, it's a genuine story, isn't it? Rather than just someone getting up to antics.
Yeah, it's a proper, not just like a biography for just one person's short life. It's Yeah, it's a story. It's an epic adventure.
It is.
And he didn't have a nose.
He didn't have a nose. Oh, these comments are good, because I'm just going to say, I have still not decided who I'm going to choose yet. I genuinely don't know. I've been thinking about it all week, and I keep bouncing backwards and forwards.
I've got a fairly set mind on it.
Oh, do you?
But
interesting.
I'm willing to have my mind changed.
Okay, that's interesting.
It wouldn't upset me if it changed.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, let's hear for our third one. This is Roberto, another fellow podcaster from Tsar Power this time. Check out Tsar Power if you've not, ranking all of the Russian Tsars. Anyway, Roberto says, Heraclius. He saved the empire from the brink of destruction, rebuilt its shattered army, and managed to finally beat down the Persians until they got destroyed. Andronikos and No-Nos just made the empire worse, pushing it closer to dissolution. Also, he's just so fighty and cool. Andronikos and Justinian, while entertaining, are just inept rulers that don't care about the people.
Really good points.
You really can't argue with that, can you? Yeah. I mean, he is the saviour of Rome.
Yeah. It was without him, our podcast, as we've said, would have been a lot shorter. So
yeah. Okay, well, let's go for another one. Aidan, our listener, gave reasons why all three should win.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Aidan.
Justinian II, arguably the most well-rounded candidate, and he does have a good story. But I'd argue Heraclius beats him on Phytius, and Andronikos ekes him out on Opprobrium Crasium because of the Lord Flashhearting.
Yeah.
Then he goes on to discuss Heraclius. Heraclius is easily the best, in inverted commas, emperor on the list, and I think his Crasium is underplayed. He did have to cross the Bosphorus on a boat bridge, and he did marry his niece. That's a good point. He married his niece.
Yes, yeah,
he did forget that. But, here's another but, his story to me just isn't as interesting as the other two, and he's easily beaten on Crasium by both.
That is true.
Ultimately, Andronikos is my favourite, because he has my favourite story, but it's also personal for me. Interesting.
Why? Why?
No.
What did he do to you, Aidan? What did he do?
It's the period of the Roman Empire that I studied over the summer. Oh, okay. So
Well, that's a better outcome than I was expecting.
that is a much better outcome. Yeah. So I have a soft spot for the later Comneni and the Lascarids. He definitely is not the most successful or the most fighty. If I had to choose one of the two to talk about, Andronikos is my guy. Basil II got his top scorer crown for being the best emperor. I think season 2 crown should go to the person who exemplified just how bonkers the Byzantine Empire should be. Or could be, sorry. Okay, so that actually turned out to be an endorsement of Andronikos in the end. Yeah. So it's only fair we do 2 more. Let's get another one for Justinian, shall we? So we've got Captain, absolutely Justinian II. I've listened to his episode more times than any other. Literally listened to it again last night, and he's the emperor I excitedly tell others about.
Interesting.
And then finally, so we've got Hal. I'm definitely Team Heraclius. I'm just a sucker for tragic yet competent emperors. I've been ever since Otho, Jorian, Heraclius, John VI, and the last Paleologi emperors all have amazingly tragic reigns. And as I've said before, I believe Heraclius is the only emperor who has what it takes to possibly defeat Aurelian in the final of finals. And I can't see Justinian II doing that. Ooh, thinking ahead there.
Heraclius beating Aurelian. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah. And also, that's assuming that the final of finals will take place with just the 2 winners.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rob has an idea that he hasn't told anyone about. I like it. I love it.
I don't know. I just thought maybe the two groups of finalists, so there's 6 of them in there for us to debate.
Massive battle royal. Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. But I don't know who. I've not thought that far ahead yet. Right. Okay. Well, there we go. That's the voice of the people. I apologise if I didn't read yours out. We had many, so we'd just run out of time otherwise. But that's the general gist. As you can see, very easy to find support for all of them, and this is not an easy runaway.
No.
You've got some people who are less than happy that we've got a couple of crazy emperors in the final, and one seen as competent and good emperor, but equally you've got people who really like the fact that we've gone a bit more down the crazy routes this season than we did the first season.
But that's what we've always been about. It's all about who's most interesting. We've already ranked them. We know who's the best. It's Basil II. He is the best. However, who's most interesting?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I suppose then, Jamie, this is it. It's time. Now, we
Hi.
both did, but you listened to all 3 episodes this week, didn't you? And you made a few notes.
I did.
You did. So
Very simple notes.
very simple notes, just a couple of
notes.
talking points. So I'm just going to hand it over to you and choose an emperor. And what did you think whilst listening to the episode again?
Well, let's start with Heraclius.
Okay.
Because he's number 3 on my list. Not because that's the order I just put them in after reading them, going through the rounds. He always came across as very competent.
Yes.
Great general, great leader. Great at strategy. And
Yes.
that's really important when you're fighting. The Empire was on literally a knife edge at this point. Well, not literally, figuratively on a knife edge.
Literally,
And-
figuratively.
Yes. Great phrase. And he managed, with his half-chewed from stress fingernails, gripping onto the Byzantine banner and kind of going, no, you're doing this. And he did that through strategy, through cleverness, through, I guess, inspiring people with his awesomeness in a way, but also politically, making links with other groups of people for support and help. And that's really important because you need them in the future if you do manage to rebuild as well. But my concern with Heraclius, because he is my least likely to win.
Oh, interesting.
It's an exciting battle-y story.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I think the other 2 are so crazy that makes them instantly more interesting.
So is
And
the
that might be my
crazy
bias.
swinging for you? What stood out to you about Heraclius listening to him again? Was there anything from that episode that you'd go away and tell someone?
The only thing I would say to people, and this is what I've been thinking about the most, what have I talked about the most?
Yeah.
He saved the Empire.
Yeah.
If he hadn't, it'd have been gone. We'd be finished. That's the only thing I can tell people about. What are your thoughts?
When I was listening to it, I liked the small details in the battle, and it reminded me of researching him. And the source was a bit ridiculous and over the top. It reminded me of the story of Augusta. We just got some ridiculous stories that were quite possibly not true, and a lot of the time throughout the episode, I would say things like, "And this isn't true." But we're going to count it as true. And I feel like that should count against him slightly. However, he is a strong favourite of mine to win this because he was so damn good. But when I say a strong favourite, that doesn't mean he is my favourite.
No.
As in the one I think I'm going to choose.
Okay.
I've got 2. And it's between Heraclius and one other, but I'm not going to ruin that just yet. I think I've got one who I'm happy to go. I'm not happy, but I'm more happy to let slide.
Interesting. Okay.
And it is because Heraclius, it's that 2 sides of the face of being an emperor. We have the crazy 2, and we've got the good, competent, interesting story, saved the empire. And because we've only got one emperor like this, I feel like he needs to be saved. Whereas the other 2, I feel would get rid of the one that's not quite as interesting and then see which is the best. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That's interesting.
But I mean, he has lots of great stories. His chopping the heads of generals in the middle of a battlefield when they were parleying was really good.
Hence the sound you heard earlier.
Yeah, exactly. He's there just... and also... the early stuff overthrown focus. I always forget about that stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Him getting married and becoming emperor and staging a coup on the same day, the world's busiest groom.
Sorry, dear.
Oh,
I'm just
and then
popping out.
Then him threatening to just move the capital of Rome to Africa.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Could you
I didn't write that
imagine?
note down.
Yeah,
Yes.
could you imagine if that had happened? That is really interesting. Did you know that Carthage was almost the capital of Rome? It's
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. That would have hugely changed history. Him marrying his niece. That was a huge political upset. There's just so much good stuff in there. I can see him winning, but we will see. Let's move on to someone else. Okay, who are you going to talk about next?
Let's go for Andronikos next.
Okay, Andronikos.
The Rogue.
The Rogue. Lord Flashheart himself.
because when I re-listened to it, I thought, there's the little flash art, because we do the silly, exaggerated woof kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Lord Byron stuck in my head a little bit more.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And Q from Star Trek, right?
Obviously.
High five myself for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just a clap, but okay.
Yeah. He was interesting because he was, I don't want to say ridiculous, because he wasn't ridiculous. He was clever. I think he certainly came across in your retelling of it as very strategically trying to upset. He's trying to knock the foundations out so he can take control.
So something that I had forgotten, because obviously the big crazy stories stick in your head, was the quote about how he just outthought everyone.
Yes.
They couldn't take him down because he was just cleverer than everyone else.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd forgotten that. I got that he was like a show-off and he swanned around the place, but apparently he had a brain as well. Yeah,
and he sort of thought outside the box, or more likely inside the box. So he was, rather than trying to be militarily, I'll just take you over, he just subtly knocked down the confidence, subtly knocked down the structure a little bit to kind of just unbalance everything, to unseat everything. So it was easy for him to go, hey.
Well, what stood out? Was there any particular story that stood out with him?
Oh, the prison break. The prison break. I even told my wife about it. That's why that's in my head.
The prison break is great. It just is.
And the fact he stopped off to give his wife a bit of loving is just splendid. He was imagining scaling down the wall on a rope, see his wife and go, oh, yeah, got a few minutes. Let's go. The
hiding in the bush, the talking his way past the guards was amazing. Yeah. The pretending to have diarrhea. All this is great. And that's even before he goes off to Antioch and then Jerusalem, just as with man miles ahead of him.
Yeah.
And all of that it's great, is what I remember. And this is why I think Andronikos also does deserve to win. But then, against him, he was just a bad ruler. Once he became emperor,
he was terrible.
He was awful. There's nothing redeeming about his rule whatsoever.
No. And you can see why it ended the way it did.
Yeah, and you got the interesting, hideous death of his, but But part of me thinks, it's like, well, should someone who was that bad of a ruler really win the whole series? But then if it's interesting. But if he's interesting, right, okay. Okay, let's go on to our third one then.
Justinian II. So, I'll be honest, he is my favourite to win.
Oh, right, you're just saying it out the bat, okay.
Because I've told quite a few people about him.
Yeah.
His life, the fact he was emperor twice, essentially. The fact also he was a very brutal ruler to start with. He wasn't liked. That's why he got usurped by... didn't write the name down.
Leo wasn't. No, not Leo. It was Leontius, wasn't it?
Leontius.
Yeah, if that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, probably. So he got, cooed by, as you said, Leontius, very confidently. And he came back, but he came back even worse. He was more brutal. Any sense of opposition, he was incredibly brutal to, which caused him again to be killed. So, and that's the reason. And he did have a nose. He went to Constantinople in a little fishing boat.
He did.
Not like a massive warship. Little tiny boat, probably stinking of fish in the back. The beacon of his nose reflecting the lights of the city in the
fishing boat with a handful of friends. One of them whom was called, and this wasn't us making it up, it's from the sources, Stupid Paul.
It's like one of the really bad disciples.
The only thing that would have made that better is if Paul was the name you randomly said in episode 1 instead of Jeff, and Jeff's name was Paul throughout the whole thing. That's the only thing that would have made that better.
It's like you could just imagine halfway across the sea, just Paul going, "So what are we doing then?"
Yeah.
What were you there in the meeting?
But then you've got the dramatic scene where Justinian, there's a storm, and he's like, well, God strike me down if I won't get my... And, such drama.
My other argument, why he should be, you scrapped off an entire scheme of learning in your school to do a whole English unit on him.
You see, I was about to mention this. Have I said this on this podcast before? I genuinely don't know if I have.
I don't think you have, no.
I've certainly talked about it on Twitter and on Discord, but many of our listeners don't look at social media, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But so I planned a unit of work around Justinian. The children did not know this. The children thought we were writing a fantasy story, and there was a huge map of what was the Black Sea. It was just the Black Sea with the different cities around the edges, but it wasn't called the Black Sea. It was what the Romans at the time called the Black Sea, the Ioxone. I'm saying that completely wrong. I'm doing this from half memory. But yeah, so it's a name that they wouldn't have recognised. And also, not many people would just recognise the Black Sea if you take it out of context.
Especially children, they don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone just thought it was a fantasy map, and I spent about a week telling the story of Justinian's rise, fall, and coming back to the throne. And the children were acting it out as I was speaking it, and they were running around with rulers in their hands. And
that's why you got fired.
They were writing diary entries from the perspective of Leontius in the prison cell. They were doing all this stuff. And then, in the last episode of the unit, I just got Google Earth out and just put it over the Black Sea and didn't say anything until the penny dropped on all of them that this fantasy map was actually a real map. And then I went, ha-ha, suckers, you've been learning history all this time. You thought history was boring.
Stealth history.
And it's one of my favourite units of work I've ever taught. And why did I do that? Because his story is bloody interesting.
It is, Rob. It is.
You can't. It's very hard to argue with that. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say the one who I am not sure about. I think it's fairly obvious. I'm happy to let Andronikos go.
See, he was my top two.
Yeah, he's third in my head.
Yeah, see, Heraclius was third in my head. However, after what the comments were on Discord and stuff, and also from your admiration of him, I'm happy to send Heraclius into the deep of the Black Sea off Justinian's boat.
Sorry, you mean Andronikos?
Andronikos off the edge of the boat into the Black Sea.
Yeah, okay, let's get rid of Andronikos.
Okay.
I think we need to get rid of one of the crazy ones.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Right, now we need to debate Justinian II and Heraclius. Part of me feels like I should eke this out a bit more. It's the final, but I mean, I'm feeling like it's obvious. I don't think we can build the suspense up more. You've already said you think Justinian II.
You just said it's the best thing you've ever done in the world.
I do like Heraclius. I definitely think he is good, but the fact that he murdered someone's family and that man chased him down and chopped his head off. Yeah. The fact that his son had his throat slit whilst being howled up in front of a crowd. Yeah. I mean, Justinian's story just has so many amazing, interesting facts. And yes, he was a bit of a tyrant at times, and yes, he sacked some of his own cities, but he also did try and rule quite well. He was not an awful ruler. He was not a great ruler. Yeah. I'm
sure
sorry,
if you were a person living there at the time, maybe.
I'm thinking of his first rule. Sorry, I should be clear here. His first rule. When he came back, he got a bit purgy, but details are so scarce. So scarce, it's hard to tell what was going on. But yeah, I'm talking around the issue, and it's very obvious what I'm going to say. I think it's got to be Justinian II.
I think it has to be Justinian II.
And I did waver for a long time whilst doing it. It's got to be Justinian II. I mean, yes, I did that unit of work with my class, so that really did solidify my head. It's like Justinian II, surely. But I'll be honest, I wavered completely whilst doing the rounds. For a long time, it was Andronikos. I thought, I can't believe I've changed my mind. It's Andronikos. His stories are just hilarious, and I love it. And
great,
then, literally this week, and it was reading the comments about Heraclius on our Discord. I switched to Heraclius for a while. The idea of Heraclius versus Aurelian in a super final, it was just something that hadn't occurred to me. And it's like, oh, wow, that would be amazing. That would be... Because you could have a really good debate against those two.
You could, yeah, that is fair.
Which is why I'm thinking maybe get the 6 finalists together rather than the 2 winners. Yeah, maybe it could be a bit more interesting. I mean, Heraclius is great. He is great, but he is not... hand on heart, if someone says, tell me about an emperor from the Eastern Roman Empire, it's Justinian II. That's who I'm going to.
And you get that question asked all the time, so, you know.
In all seriousness, I get it asked a lot more than the average person.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
And Justinian II is where I go to. He strangled an assassin with a rope whilst they were sat down eating together.
Yeah. I mean, the sausage was halfway through down his throat. It's like, ugh. Like the sausage was cut in half. Like, one half came back out, one half went down. He
snuck back into his own city via the sewers.
He did.
It's just amazing stuff. He used Leontius and Philippicus as footstools in the chariot races. And then he got Macbeth to death.
He did. He got Macbeth in the face.
I'm happy to call it. It's Justinian II. Well done, Justinian II. You are the rankiest of Totalis. You have Totalis rankiums. You are the most interesting emperor of season 2. And what I really love about this is when we started this season, I had literally never heard of the man.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Justinian the Great, obviously. Everyone's heard of Justinian the Great. If someone told me when we first started this, Justinian II is going to be your overall winner. Sorry, who?
There was a second one?
Yeah. And this is it. That he is the very definition of a hidden gem in my mind, because not many people have heard of him, and he is one of the most interesting Roman emperors in all of history.
Yeah, he is definitely a hidden golden nose.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that I managed to hide from you that it was a long episode.
Yeah,
and he came back.
Sequel, brilliant.
Yes, because we started the episode and you assumed he was awful. You were laughing at him. You laughed at the concept of him getting Gene Caesar, if I remember correctly. So, well, there we go. I know that some people are going to be happy with that. Let's just remind myself.
Somebody put up a Discord thing a minute ago saying, I'm Team Heraclius. Fool.
Oh, how little they know. How little they know. I mean, Alibat's going to be happy. Gruger is going to be happy. They were supporting Justinian II on our Discord. Lesia, the one I read out earlier. There's a few who are going to be happy. There's also going to be some sad people. Roberto, sorry. Well, there we go then. We did it. We have succeeded. Do you remember all those years ago when I said, let's rank all the Roman emperors? And you went, what, all of them? And I said, yes, Jamie, all of them. And then I did that thing from the film Leon. I fell to my knees and went, all of them! And
I remember it well, yeah. It was raining, I believe.
Yeah, it was. It was Tuesday. Well, there we go. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Something to put on the gravestone.
Here lies Jamie. Ranked all the Roman emperors. Didn't have a hobby.
Chisel that in.
I actually want on my gravestone. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, you know what, Jamie? It's weird. I don't think I've ever done anything this hard in my life. Or it's fun to do.
That's the thing. It has been really fun because, like, when it started, it was kind of, this is fun. Then kind of like, this is a lot to do from your perspective, I imagine, rather than mine. I just went on for the ride, but you've done a really good job. You should take that compliment. I hate being complimented, but you should.
We have done a good job.
No, I've just sat here and just
Totalis ranking wouldn't exist if it was not for you. It would be me talking to myself in a room.
That is true. I am pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I am a treasure. National treasure soon, hopefully.
Yes, I can only assume so. Yeah. So there we go. We did it. Thank you, everyone, so much, seriously, for listening. considering at the start there were like 2 or 3 listeners and they
Yeah.
probably downloaded by mistake, and now there is a whole community built around this. A
Yeah.
spin-off podcast ranking the Jeffs.
Yes.
It is absolutely insane. So it's been great. It's been a journey. So what's
Yeah.
next? What is next?
Well,
Well,
this
I
is the
know
question.
a lot of people have been wanting to know what season 3, as we've been calling it, is going to be, which is a weird thing to call it because, like, the Americans
really
was
season
kind of season 3, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
was that joint season 2?
The spin-off.
Well, you know what? I haven't actually put any thought into this. Shall we announce it now?
Let's do it.
Shall we announce it?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone get ready for Totalis Rankium. Sausages.
From Cumberland to Savoy. No, that's not a thing.
No, but we
It
could.
could be, yeah.
Could be. If there's enough interest, we'll do it.
Oh, people, they're going to say yes, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. No. Right, here is the plan. I am going to say subject to change because I don't want to completely box ourselves in, but this is definitely the plan.
Not going to box ourselves in. This is definitely the plan.
This is definitely the
Carved
plan.
in stone.
Unless it changes. But I can't
Yeah.
see why it would change.
No.
It's just I'm scared to just say I'm doing it because that means I'm tied in. So the
Commitment
plan
roll.
is Romans has now finished.
It has.
Next up, let's get those American presidents done, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's get them out of the way. We've only got Clinton and Bush 2, Obama, Trump, and Biden to do.
Yeah.
That's not going to take that long, especially when I'm not having to flit between Romans and Americans. Once the Americans are done, we're not going to do season 3 of the Romans.
There isn't a season 3.
No, as I have said before, this feed will stop with this, so it will be a new podcast. But no, we're going to do a mini-series just to reboot ourselves, and so I can have a little bit of a break from all the serious stuff. And we are going to do a mini-series. It's probably going to be about 10 or 15 episodes only. It's going to be...
Welcome to Totalis Rankium. This week,
Pirates, Totalis Rankium. Oh yes, pirates. We're going to do some pirates, and it won't last very long. It's going to be a mini-series. And whilst we're doing this, I will be doing some background reading on an area of history that I will just be upfront and honest about. I know very little about right now. But it makes so much sense to go there. That's
Yeah.
where we're going to go. Because if we have done the Roman Empire, and then we did the Eastern Roman Empire, it only makes sense to go to the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah, it
So,
does.
after we've done our mini pirate series, it will be Totalis Rankium, the Holy Roman Empire.
Going to be good.
It's well,
It's got the word
yeah.
Roman in it.
It's got the word Roman in it. I'm terrified of doing it. I'll be honest.
And there's
kind of know.
crossover as well, which is really helpful.
There is crossover. Jamie, you're going to be very, very pleased to learn that from pretty much the get-go, we're going to be talking about the Avars.
Oh my goodness! Yes! Oh, that's brilliant!
Yeah. So I'm very excited about going back. We're going to have a huge amount of crossover with season 2, which is obviously really good. We will also have a huge amount of crossover with Pontifex, which is amazing. Because obviously their popes will be crowning our emperors for a long time.
Collaboration.
So it's all exciting. I'm excited. I'm hoping this is good news for everyone who wanted us to go on to Holy Roman Emperors. Right, I feel like we're just waffling to keep it going. We should probably put this to bed, Jamie.
No, let's slit the throat of this podcast.
Yeah, let it slip into that good night.
Goodbye.
and this is the BBC's coverage of the chariot races.
Hello, I'm welcome to the BBC. I'm Wincing Featheringway.
I'm Gunther Mountbatten.
Hot damn, why the hell are you here? I thought you were dead.
I'm scared, Chad. I'm scared. What's going on?
He looks like a damn zombie. Well, yes, I had a little slight accident earlier. However, I am now fine. I have seen death. I have gaped in more of infinity. I've been surrounded by the evil and the light. I've walked through the valley of the shadow of death, and I saw evil. It surrounded me. It encompasses me. I know the meaning of life. But enough of that. Sip of a lip. What?
Yes, it turns out Winston here, it was just a Mount Gold. It's absolutely tipped off now.
Yes.
Totally got over
A
it.
few humbugs, a little bit of Weather's Originals, and I was absolutely spit-swapped condition. Tally ho!
Declared dead for, what was it, 47 hours?
48 and a half.
48 and a half hours, but shook that off like a gentleman, sir. And like a gentleman.
Hot damn, that's the best damn thing I've ever seen in my damn life. Why, thank you.
I'm still scared, Chad. I think he's a zombie.
Well, he's a little bit green around the gills. Anyway, we're at the final. This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, we are here at the finals of the chariot races, and we are incredibly excited to bring it here to your living rooms and your ears so you can experience the final with us.
With you and your families, we're here watching, and we can see the finalists lining up, but we must make you aware of certain changes to the rules this year. Hot damn, lots of changes.
You won't believe the changes here, Chad. Oh, it's crazy. I've never known a final to change so much.
Well, the first rule change is this will no longer be a multi-lap race. This is a 100-meter dash to the finish line.
Yes, that's right, 100 meters, and this has only happened once before, the Cheltenham race of 1932. That got changed. It was much shorter. It turned out to be a 3-meter dash, if we all remember that one. It was an amazing race.
In fact, I believe one of the contestants just merely fell over the finish line. Quite the win.
Yes, it was quite a spectacle. I remember going there as a boy. Anyway, it's a little bit like that, but 100 meters this time. 100 meters from start to finish. It's going to be quick, it's going to be swift, or at least...
What the hell's a meter?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Chad. A meter is it's a little bit like a yard, but it's sensible.
We can't be putting it with sensible. How many feet are in a meter? There are no feet in a meter. There's just centimeters.
If you divide the distance from North Pole to the equator by... You know what, never mind. It just makes a lot of sense. Did you know if you fill a centimeter cube of water, it's exactly the same as a gram?
What the hell's a cube?
Never mind. It's metric. I don't like metric, Chad. It scares me.
It scares me too. Hot damn. Well, let's talk about our contestants.
We got all of our contestants here, all three of them. And all three of them are looking in a mighty fine shape, if I can say so myself. First up, we've got Heraclius.
Oh, Heraclius. He is muscle. He is glistening. Check out those abs.
I was checking out those abs, Chad, and then these abs got in the way. It's Andronikos. He's also got abs.
Oh, he's got damn good abs and surrounded by a lot of women.
Yes, I'm counting at least 6. 6 abs.
That is true. That is half a dozen to our British folk.
And then finally we go on to Justinian II. Justinian II does not have abs, but he is wearing an apron which has the image of abs on, like a scene from the motion picture 300. That's right, we got all 3 contestants, and all 3 are ready to go. But what's this? What's going on, Chad? There's someone going up and talking to them. He's the head official. It would appear some change to the race is going, and we've already had one change.
Yes, you're quite right. It looks like he's staking 3 horses with him on a leash. Well, let me explain the new rules to you. These were given to me about 5 minutes ago. Do you want to hear what's going to happen?
That's 5 minutes, guys. I don't know. Do you use metric time?
We use centiminutes.
Yeah, centiminutes. If you divide the distance from the sun to the earth by... You know what, never mind. So please, Chad, do explain what's going on.
Well, this year, we're doing something different. Can you see those leather straps that are attaching the contestants to Justinian, Andronikos, and Heraclius?
It looks suspiciously like some kind of harness.
You're damn right it's a harness, because this year, The horses are riding the emperors!
Oh my God, Jeff, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. You're telling me the emperors have to carry the horses for 100 meters?
You must be joking. This sounds absolutely barbaric, especially for the people. No! This is gonna be damn amazing. It's the best thing I've seen in my life.
It's so great. I'm so excited, Chad. I'm so excited. Yes, Winston, I've learned just to go along with it. Don't fight it. Embrace it.
Well, after the things I've seen in the last year, I'll embrace anything. Life is precious, Cuthbert. Life is precious.
I know, Winston. I know. I'm so glad to have you back.
It's good to be back. Anyway, we can see the horses mounting the riders, and they're all collapsing under the weight.
It's incredible scenes there, Chad. It would appear all three emperors have just fallen straight to their knees, and they seem crushed under the horses. It's almost as if a man can't carry a horse.
This shall be quite the unique experience. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. This will be damn amazing. In fact, I'm just expecting the horses to drag the guys along.
Okay, and the man with the starting arrow, he's flaming his arrow. He's flaming his arrow. The crowd are gearing up. They know it's going to be a short race, but they are excited.
They are waiting with bated breath. This is quite the spectacle. Look at them all. You can see the banners for Heraclius. You can see the banners for Andronikos. And you can see, a lot of gold notes for Justinian.
That's right. He's raising the arrow. And we are a go. No one's moving. No one is moving. Everyone is trapped under their horse.
There seems to be a little bit of a problem. They just don't know what to do. There's one horse just nibbling some grass at the side there. One's going backwards. It seems to be going back into its stable. And you can see one of the handlers trying to guide the horse toward the straight line, the starting line even. But the horse isn't happy about that. He's kicking the emperor. Heraclius been kicked in the head.
A red flag is waving. Red flag waving. That means start aborted. Start has been aborted. Something's gone wrong here. Chad, could you see from where you are? Is the lead official coming out or not?
I can see him. He's got his luminescent clipboard. In fact, his luminescent aquamarine, which I believe you guys call turquoise. Tortoise.
I don't think anything, Chad, is going to happen for a while here. I think it's time for a commercial break, and we will be back with you guys in just one moment, and I promise you, we will bring you the start of this race as soon as it starts.
Are you afraid that your baby may not succeed in life?
Are you scared that they'll amount to nothing just like you?
Buy the new Heraclius.
Wait till the king and queen are passing, pour on the Heraclius onto your baby's head and set the head aflame.
The queen will be so impressed, she will ask the king to adopt your child, and you'll never see them again.
Warning, may cause disfigurement shortly before an agonizing death.
And welcome back. Flaming heads. Excellent stuff.
I've never had a flaming head. I'd just like to make that known to my wife.
Yes, well, anyway, we're back here, dear listener, and I would just like to say the race has started off. Jeff has been fired. Jeff, of course, the person who came up with the new rule that the riders carry the horses. It turns out that is a stupid rule for stupid people. That is the quote I have here. The race will begin shortly, and I've been told, yes, I'm getting it in my ear here, the race will start when the fire arrow is fired into Jeff, who is now tied to a stake. Yes, that's how we will start the race.
That is how we deal with problems in Texas.
Here we are. We have all three now on their horses. It's still a 100-meter dash. It's going to be over very quickly. The man is dipping his tar-soaked arrow into the flame, and there it goes. The crowd is cheering. Jeff there is looking very scared.
He's looking absolutely terrified. He is staring mortality in the face. And I have been there. It is a dark place. It is a scary place.
Yes,
you will never wish that it'll happen again.
Yes,
I miss my family. I didn't think I was coming back. I weep at night alone.
It was quite the cold.
My wife left me.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Winston. You didn't tell me.
My children deserted me.
Just like me, we're in the same boat.
But it's okay, we're British. What?
Stiff upper lip, and he raises his fire arrow. He points it right in the face of Jeff. He is going to be firing from, yes, that's right, 3 centimetres away. 3 centimetres away. Right.
What the hell, damn, is a centimetre? Look, check out my ruler. It's in inches.
I am just impressed that you carry a rule around with you always. Anyway, we are definitely about to start here. The archer is pulling back the arrow, and
They're off! Oh my gosh, they're off! And they're finished.
wow, that was amazing, Chad. Jeff's barely aflame, and they've already finished. But did you see who won?
No, we're gonna have to check through the action replay. Ah, damn, we're gonna have to check the crap out of that.
Okay, here we go. The action replay's coming back. They're playing it back.
We shall see every centisecond of this race.
We will be describing it to you frame by frame. Frame by frame. So here we go. Frame 1. Everyone is poised, ready to start. Everyone's looking very serious. Frame 2.
They're still the same.
Hard to tell the difference, I've got to be honest. We're on to frame 3 now. Still no change.
I can see a bit of a hair strand blowing in the breeze.
What was this filmed in? 120 frames a second. That seems overkill. Tell you what, we'll abandon the frames per second. We will just give you the highlights. That's right, here's the highlights. They got going. Andronikos fell off his horse almost straight away. And then Justinian II just got ahead of Heraclius. I don't know how else to say it, Chad.
Well, there's damn right. Justinian II is the winner of round 2, Totalis Rankium.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It is amazing. You know what, Chad? I've had just the best time.
I've had the damn best time, and it's great being here with our British buddies, drinking tea, eating crumpets, and not brushing our teeth.
Well, thank you very much. I'd just like to say thank you to you, Chad, and Hickory. It's been a pleasure, and I brought you this.
Oh my God, that's amazing! I've
It's
never
cool,
seen this
Chad.
live.
It's cool, I'm scared. Yes, if you just press that bit on the side, you'll find that it works quite well.
What, this bit here? Then let me press.
Can you find your kazoo? We can do it together. Out of tune, out of sync.
I thought it was on my desk, but it's not here. Right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And that's how it ends.
In a blaze of shit. We could do a proper ending without that. We could do like a proper, like genuinely, like a thank you thing.
No, I think we did enough. I think ending on you doing a kazoo and me panicking that I can't find my kazoo is the best way to end the podcast.
Okay. It's the classic way.